Welcome to Dateline Southern, a weekly newscast brought to you by the School of Journalism and Communication. I'm James Higginbotham.
And I'm Amy Vetrano. We look forward to bringing you the latest news about life on and off campus. Drive through campus and you might think the circus had come to Collegedale, but the big white tent on campus is actually the center of spiritual revival. Tyler Quiring takes us under the big top.
For the past 3 nights, students have come out to a large tent on the lawn to worship. In Tents is an outdoor program that features a song service and sermon and usually lasts about an hour. It's held every year during the fall, and students flock to the event for an alternative experience and extra worship and convocation credit.
We're getting worship and convo credit at the same time, but mainly because I came last night as a tester and the speaker's really good, so I came out again tonight.
The open atmosphere and interaction with friends is a big part of why students come.
Having intents outside in the open, I feel, is a lot better than just worshiping with my fellow students in the church, just because I feel that it's more open and closer to God, and I really enjoy it.
A very large number of students come out and fill every seat in the tent. Last year's 1,000-seat tent couldn't hold everyone that came out for the program, so this year, administration decided to upgrade to a 1,500-seat tent that's jam-packed full. In spite of the large crowd, Speaker Paul Vunaleva says that the students are attentive and courteous.
It's hard to keep 1,500 or 1,600 young people's attention, but they are very respectful and praise God for that. At least they're here.
After 4 weeknight meetings, the week ends with Vespers in the tent on Friday night. For Dateline Southern, I'm Tyler Quiring.
If you come back next year, you can see the tent again in the fall.
Congratulations are in order for Seventh-day Adventists. 150 years ago this week, the church chose its name. In 1860, the church had only 2,500 members in the southeastern U.S.
Today, it claims more than 16 million baptized members worldwide. The church also runs the largest Protestant network of schools and hospitals.
John Nix of Adventist Heritage Ministry says the church has done great things over the last 150 years. He wants the anniversary to remind us how we can more serve others.
If you're planning to attend this weekend's all-night softball tournament, you won't have to go far to eat. Students in Free Enterprise or SIFE will be selling Taco Bell bean burritos, Papa John's pizza, and China Kitchen egg rolls. Intramural coordinator Mike Boyd said he was concerned about students having to drive into town at late hours. SIFE will serve food at 8:30 Saturday night until 3 a.m. Sunday morning. Students will need cash, ID cards not accepted.
Latin American students may feel a little closer to home. The Latin America Club hosted a carnival last weekend, featuring games, native dances, and costumes. Southern accent videographer Matt Hadley captured the festivities. The Latin American Club hopes to showcase a small cultural event next semester featuring Latino music.
The School of Visual Art and Design says goodbye to its interactive media major after 2 years. 24 students were expected in the program this year, but only 4 are currently enrolled.
Interactive media is a combination of graphic design and computer science. Dean of the School of Visual Arts and Design, Randy Craven, says that a skill set of being a designer and a computer programmer is rare. The remaining students are working in a directed study course.
Visual art professor Ken Willis says that because interactive media industries are fairly new, it's just too early for the major here at Southern.
Here's an update to a campus project that first started 9 years ago. Wayne Hazen, the former dean of School of Visual Art and Design, has been chipping, blasting, and carving his way towards completing a massive 180,000-pound statue. The solid granite rock is among the largest of its type to be shipped out of Vermont in 100 years. Hazen calls his project Passing the Mantle. It shows how the Bible prophet Elijah passed his mantle to Elisha. The Elijah figure is located within a wooden silo, which was built primarily to help keep the noise down during construction. Some possible locations include being placed across from the roundabout by the Holy Wellness Center or in between the dorms near Wright Hall. The statue should be completed by the end of next summer.
The newest building on campus is getting ready for visitors. After numerous delays, Florida Hospital Hall is nearing completion, and students and faculty couldn't be more ready. The building will be open for a preview during Alumni Weekend in October. Alumni and Nursing Student Accreditation Board members will walk through to see the new equipment, technology, and facilities. The building will close again so that workers can make the final touches, but teachers can start moving in during the next few months. After the grand opening in January, the hall will be ready for winter semester classes.
If you were up walking on the promenade close to Florida Hospital Hall, there's a good chance you'll encounter a longboarder. Has a popular sport of longboarding become a danger to campus? That's an issue that Jexi Verazumar investigated this week. Here's her report.
Haibo is a student from Southern. He was skateboarding from his home to work when he was hit by a car.
He pulled his car into the side, so the car was going to hit me, so I had to jump off my skateboard.
Hai got scratches on his face and hands, and he thought that he was so good at it that nothing ever could happen to him. After the accident, Hai wears a helmet every time he skateboards, but there are many students who forget about it. Southern's handbook allows skating as means of transportation, but emphasizes that it is at the sole risks of the skater. Helmets used to be required, but now they are just recommended.
This is one of the many places where students from Southern like to skate, but many times they forget to wear their helmet.
There are specific places that they're not supposed to skateboard, streets, roadways, not supposed to be skateboarded in. For campus, the industrial drive, like the nice big hill at summer hour, is popular, but that's a place they're not supposed to skateboard.
So, what is the students' reaction about skating on campus?
I think they're a little unsafe just because they are really careless about how they go through the crowd. I mean, not all of them, but the majority are just trying to rush to get to class, and I've seen several of them fall.
Not to be late to class, so it's faster way of transportation. So I think it's good.
That skateboarding is pretty cool, but they should have something to protect themselves, like a helmet or something, protect their knees.
And a good way to get around, good way to have fun.
For the students who are not skating, campus safety recommends to be aware of the surroundings, and for the skaters, to wear a helmet. For Dateline Southern, Jexi Villamizar.
Did you know a longboard's length makes it easier to balance when you're riding on it, but also causes problems? Because it's so long, it's harder to turn and maneuver around pedestrians.
I could see how that could be difficult. The Collegedale Police Department has a new member of the force, one with 4 legs instead of 2. The department's K-9 unit is training Cougar, a Belgian Malinois. Cougar has already been trained to sniff out explosives. Now his handlers are teaching him to find trace amounts of narcotics. Corporal David Holloway said the process typically requires 16 to 18 weeks. But since Cougar has already been trained in another field, it could be much shorter.
Many students sign up for summer internships, but a few are signed to sail down the Amazon River. Junior media production major Ricky Alvarez did just that.
Ricky is in studio with us today to tell us more about his internship last summer. Ricky, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, who did you work for last summer?
I worked for Loma Linda University out in California.
Okay.
Did you ever imagine you would end up in South America?
No, it was actually a pretty big surprise. I thought I was going to be working in California for my internship, and they ended up calling me a few weeks before I went to California and just told me, hey, they asked me, do you want to go to Brazil? And I was like, yeah, of course, I'd love to go. So it was kind of a nice surprise for an internship.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, what were some of the things that you'll never forget about the trip?
Probably the biggest thing is just meeting the local people there, and also meeting the people that I went with from Loma Linda, because I made a lot of friends on the trip that I've kept in contact with and will probably continue to keep in contact with.
That's nice.
Sir, we have some video clips. Tell us what we're going to see.
It's just my job in Loma Linda in Brazil was to create a video promoting the Brazil trip that they take every year. So you'll probably see a video clip of some of the promotional video that I put together.
Very cool. Well, let's watch the tape.
It's definitely just being out in the Amazon and being in God's creation and seeing the sky and the scenery everywhere.
I had no idea what swimming in the Amazon would be like, but it exceeded my expectations, and I loved jumping off the top of the boat and jumping into the Amazon River, not knowing what was in there.
I love bringing people somewhere that they've never been before, and to see the people's faces and to see them just maybe hold a spider or a snake or crocodile or something that they would never want to hold. Just the smiles that are on their faces motivates me every time.
Wow, that was a really cool video.
Thanks.
That wildlife was awesome, the snakes and spiders.
Yeah, there's tons of new things to see down there.
Yeah, I bet.
Ricky, did your trip change you in any way?
I don't know if it changed me, but it definitely inspired me to go on more trips like that and go help people and just go see the world, I guess, So it was definitely motivational for me to go on this trip for the future.
Well, that sounds like a tremendous experience. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
The Student Association is looking for your ideas. SA President Brian Nimwange has created the President's Council, a group of volunteers who want to develop leadership skills. Members will advise Nimwange on special projects around campus. The SA's main project this year will help bring literacy to El Salvador. Brian will be our studio guest on next week's edition of Dateline Southern.
Do you need a few laughs to survive a tough week at school? Here's an idea. Stop by the Student Center and enjoy a spontaneous comedy of improv. A mixture of laughter, claps, and cheers could be heard as performers acted out entertaining skits to a full audience. Southern graduate student Ange Connect said the improv show was a great laugh and a nice break from a busy week.
The show started about 6 years ago, and it was Nick Lavanos and Zach. And they just started doing some improv. They had a few friends, and eventually it kind of grew into what it is today.
The improv show returns 8:30 every other Wednesday night in the Student Center. If you're interested in joining the improv team, talk to Nathan DeWild.
James, did you know that I'm a member of improv?
Really? I need to come check you out next week.
You should come. We have lots of fun. That wraps up this edition of Dateline Southern.
We remind you it's a joint venture of the TV news reporting and performance class and the TV studio class.
We'll see you next time here on Dateline Southern.